This is Note-Taking Guide 6.1 for Math 1. Today we're going to learn how to add and subtract functions. So up here at the top of my paper I have a list of different functions, and then it asks me to do things with those functions. So you can see right here it says to do f of x plus h of x. So I want to take that f of x function, which is 5x minus 6, and I want to add it to that h of x function, which is 13 minus 6x. So before, when I showed you how to add things together, I asked you to stack them together so that we can combine like terms. So I want you to notice on this 5x minus 6, if I write the next function here, that 13 actually has to go underneath the 6. And the minus 6x actually has to go underneath the 5. The 13 was positive, so I'm put a plus sign right there. So I have 5x minus 6x, which is a negative 1x. And then a negative 6 plus 13, which is a 7. So a positive 7. I don't have to have that 1 on the front there. I can just have it as a negative x plus 7. So that's how we add two functions together. Now when we subtract two functions, we need to remember to take the negative through the second part. So my first function is 13 minus 6x. And my second function says to subtract f of x from it. So now remembering, when I subtract, I'm going to change the signs on everything. So I'm going to minus the 5x, and I lined it up with the other x's. And then it is a minus 6, but I'm going to put plus 6 because I'm going to minus that negative 6, which makes it a positive 6. After I change the sign on that second function, because it said to subtract the whole function, then I can add these straight down. So I have 19 minus 11x. Now right here I have lots of kids always say to me, Mrs. Clark, you can't write it that way. And I'm like, you're right, we really shouldn't. Anytime we have a function or a set of a polynomial, we want to write it in descending order from highest power to lowest power. The x's here are a power of 1, and the 19 doesn't have a variable with a power at all, so it would be 0 for its degree. So I want to go negative 11x plus 19 in the order that it was written. Okay, this next one again is addition. It says take my h of x value and add to it my g of x value. My h of x value is 13 minus 6x again. Again, kind of in an order I don't like to see it, but I'm going to just go with it right there for now. And then I'm going to add to that the g of x value. So g of x up here has an x squared. I'm going to slide that out just a little bit, see if we can see it better. That g of x has an x squared. There's no x squared value, so I'm going to stack it kind of over by itself. Then there's a plus 4x. I'm going to put it underneath the x's. And then a minus 9. I'm going to put it with that 13 there. I'm going to add these straight down now. And after I add those straight down, I'm going to have to kind of move things around. So I'll have x squared. I'll go 13 minus 9, which is 4. And then negative 6x plus 4x is a negative 2x. Now from what I just said, this is not in descending order, so I want to rearrange this so it goes from highest power to lowest power. So I'm just going to rewrite it in that order. All right, this next problem right here, this actually says find g of 5 and then add it to f of 5. So I'm going to go grab that g function up here. And what am I putting in place of the x? I'm going to put 5 in. So I'll have 5 squared plus 4 times 5 minus 9. I'm going to continue to solve that. 5 squared is 25. 4 times 5 is 20. So I would have 25 plus 20 minus 9, which is a total of 36. That's what my g of x value is. Now I need to find my f of x, or my f of 5 value. So my f function is 5x minus 6. And I'm going to go and plug in 5 in the place of the x. So I have 25 minus 6, which is 19. 36 plus 19 is 55, and 55 is my solution. Now I'm going to move this up so I can see these problems here. We'll just have to grab those functions from the top again. So it says find f of 12. My f function is 5x minus 6. I just grabbed that from the top. And in place of the x, I'm going to put 12. So 5 times 12 minus 6. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 minus 6 is 54. Now I'm going to come and do my h of 12. My h function is 13 minus 6x. And in place of that x, I'm going to put the number 12. So I have 13 minus 72, which is a negative 59. So here I have 54 minus a negative 59. That's going to turn into a plus 59 because minus and negative is always plus. So I have 54 plus 59, which is 113. That is my solution to f of 12 minus h of 12. Now this last one right here, f minus g of 7, we could do it a couple of different ways. We could put 7 in first and subtract them, or we can find f minus g, and then we can put the 7 through. I'm going to go f, which is 5x minus 6, and then I'm going to minus g. So remember, when I subtract that g, I have to change the sign on everything in front of it. So it's a positive x squared. I'm going to make it a negative x squared. It's a positive 4, so I'm going to go minus 4x. And then it's a negative 9, so I'm going to put positive 9. I'm going to add those straight down. So I get a negative x squared plus x plus 3. And now I got to put that 7 through my answer in order to figure out the correct solution. So I'm going to have a negative times 7 squared plus 7 plus 3. 7 squared is 49. 49 with a negative in front is a negative 49. So I have a negative 49 plus 7 plus 3, which would be a negative 39 if I punch that in on my calculator. And that is my solution to the last problem on the note-taking guide. So today we're adding and subtracting functions and also substituting in like we did yesterday. Thanks for watching this video and good luck on your homework, you guys.